this way.
You know, I just thought of something. This little closet area here. Oh, I just tore my sweater. Since I can't see out the back here, these windows are pretty useless. I'm thinking now, just cutting a piece of wood and having the whole door be an area for storage. So this will be a one solid piece of wood. Maybe cut the hole out here for some storage. What do you think of that? Like, whole thing covered. I mean, I can't see out it anyways. I'll put a little insulation here, like what I have right here, and then just cover this whole thing up. And then I would have this as storage. I don't know what I could put. Maybe all my tools, or, I mean, we can hang jackets or whatnot. Now, what is this here? This looks... Is that a leak? It's dry, but it looks wet. So, that's an idea. My least favorite weather, wind. You can hear it in my voice. I have some type of seasonal allergy. My head's all stuffy. My nose is all runny. And it usually happens after a windy day. I thought I woke up with another case of the Roni, but there's no fever, there's no cough. I just got a headache with stuffy nose, and it's because of the wind. My lips are all chapped. I need some chapstick. You know what I mean? Chapstick. Why don't you have a seat? Why don't you sit and relax? Good morning. Today I feel assy. The last couple of days I spent walking around Huntington Beach, full sun, getting beamed on, and I don't know, today I got a sore throat and I'm a little bit snuffly. I have a little bit of the sniffles. No fever, no cough, so I just got like a frog in my throat. Sometimes when I snore all night, it really affects my throat. So it could be my sleep apnea. But anyways, I'm sitting here in the Ralph's parking lot waiting for the wife to do groceries. Me and Diggs just chilling. And thinking about business stuff, I guess. Or how to keep business. Or, you know, being honest with business, going through what I just went through. These people are real nice, but I don't usually like to go off of people's word. I like to go off of what they do, what the work looks like. If the work is good, you can be the rudest of all people, but your work is good, it's spectacular, I'll come back. Like the guy that installed my alarm, mumbles, didn't want to talk, didn't want to look at me, but damn, he did a good job, you know, and he buttoned up the car and gave it to me back the way I gave it to him. And yeah, this experience right now, you know, I'm not gonna fault, you know, the referral. I'm not gonna fault Jackson. I'm not gonna say, oh dude, that's on you, whatever. I'm not gonna fault him. I'm not gonna mention the company because that's not what I do. I'm not gonna sit here and try to bash a mom and pop. But you know, I went to go get some plugs done, and driving the whole way home, it was super rough, really bad idle, and just grumbling the whole way home. And I had to drive 30 miles, and by the time I got home, the car almost died on me in the garage. So I let it sit, and I thought it was maybe something that had to do with the computer, maybe it had to recalibrate, so I just wanted to drive it, and that wasn't it at all. So the next morning I texted the guys and I said, hey, look, this is what's going on. And he said, you know, it could be a number of things, and bring it down, we'll do a diagnostic on it, and we'll see what it is. So before I went down there, I didn't want to drive it another 30 miles the way it was going, because I thought I was going to blow the thing up. So I took the doghouse apart and looked in there, and there you go. 2 wire harnesses hanging off the ignition coils. And that's something pretty major. You don't let your work go without double checking or buttoning everything up. And I don't know how he didn't like even feel the roughness of the idle when he pulled the truck out. So I told him what it was. You guys, you know, let me go with 2 plugs out, and no apologies, just like, okay, well, we'll look at it again. And I already knew what the issue was. The clips didn't clip when you put the wires back on, so that shouldn't have gone out like that. That should have been fixed. But I was let go to drive home with that, and he went ahead and told me what the issue was. It's, I guess that they're called pigtails, the clips that, the wire harness clips that go onto the ignition coils. So he hit me with another estimate, and I was like, that should have been free. That wasn't my mistake. That was something that you guys let me drive home with. That, you know, like, the clips weren't clipping in, and if it was an accident, you would have noticed that they weren't clipping in, so you should have fixed it the first time. But then I had to come back and then do that. You know, if somebody came back at me with, you know, an issue with some work I did, I would fix it, and it would not be charged, because I should have done it the way they wanted the first time. Yeah, I mean, you had 2 chances, and then I brought the car back home. It drove okay, but, you know, pulling up here right now, it's still idling like shit. Not like shit, but I mean, it sounds like there's a misfire somewhere, or another loose connection that I have to go and figure out myself, you know. And, you know, I'm paying a lot of money to get something done. I'm giving these guys business, and yeah, it's frustrating to not be able to trust the work, you know. And again, I'm not faulting the referral, Jackson. I'm not faulting you. This has nothing to do with you, you know. I asked the dude if he could do the work, and he didn't say that he couldn't. And so seeing the work that Jackson was getting on his van, I was like, okay, I'm pretty confident this guy is good with his hands. He'll figure it out. He'll do a good job. But to leave 2 plugs out that's like mechanic 101. Button your shit up, you know. I felt bad for the guy, because he's really nice, and it's a small mom and pop business, and, you know, I left with smiles and everything. But yeah, I'm sorry, I can't fuck with it anymore. Like, you know, the guy actually called me back, and I was like, there's no words. I just go off of the work. There's no words. You can't fix it, you know. So onward, upward. Like, I'll bash a big ass corporation like Gorilla Glue. I hate them. Their adhesive, their spray adhesive sucks. Maybe their tape is good, maybe their glue is good, like carpenter glue, but their spray adhesive is ass. But yeah, bad experience. I won't do the rating that they sent me, you know, rate us on this or rate us on that. I'll just leave it alone, you know. I'm not trying to hurt them. Maybe they have a good rep with the other things that they do. Maybe they do really well with that. So I'm not gonna bash them for it. But hopefully it'll be a lesson for them, you know. Like, They may look at it as a curse for right now, but it's actually a blessing. So, and for me, I think it's a blessing as well, because I had to go in there and look at things, and I learned a little bit about my engine. I mean, it's dark and scary in there, and I actually was looking at things just to make sure the things that I gave them were installed. And yeah, I think I can actually go in there now that the hard part of it is done, as far as like chiseling out all the crud that was in one of the spark plug holes. So maybe I can go in there, just pull the coil up, torque down the spark plugs to the specs that I asked him to torque to, that I don't think he did. So I'm afraid that I'm gonna blow a plug just because. Yeah. Well, luckily we didn't blow anything driving it home, and that's one of the reasons why I think I picked a Ford 5.4 V8 Triton, because I did hear good things about these things being strong, and the only weaknesses were spark plugs blowing. But other than that, they can go 200 to 300,000 miles if you just take care of them. So, you know, I drove this thing maybe 100 miles, 200 miles since my last oil change, but it's due for an oil change, and I'm gonna get it changed. And while I'm there, I'm gonna have these guys, you know, stick the ODB in the computer here and see if they can scan and see if there's like a vacuum leak or something that popped off that they did that, you know, they didn't look at. But yeah, it's hard to trust mechanics. It's hard. I was going with a guy that my dad referred me to, and I had a Ford Ranger truck, one of those little ones. I love that thing. And I went in for an oil change, and I came out, and the thing ran like shit. It was just smoking, and it was chugging, and it had no power. And I brought the truck back, and he looked at it, and he said, "Oh boy, you need a new engine." And I looked at it, and I was like, "Really? Okay, well, how much is that?" And he said, "It's going to be about $3,000 to $3,500. And I said, "Wow, I don't have that." And he said, "Yeah, you're going to need that pretty soon." So I said, "Okay, well, let me drive home, and I'm going to have to let this truck sit, and I'll have to figure out how I'm going to get $3,500. So I went home, looked at the engine, checked the oil that he just did, and he actually put in over a quart more, so that it was chugging hard, so it would smoke, so the oil was spilling over, so that it looked like my engine was damaged. So all I did was drain out a quart, and the car ran smooth. It ran fine, and I never went back to that guy again. And I told my dad, "Don't ever bring your business back to him. He's a crook." And he said, "Well, I've been going to him for years. I trust him." And I said, "Well, he just fucked me. So I'm telling you." And come to find out, you know, a couple of months later, maybe a year later, he fucked my dad. He did the same shit. So I told him, "I told you." So they can have, you know, really nice demeanors, but, you know, a fixed car is not good business for a mechanic. A good running car is not good business for a mechanic. It's the same as a healthy person is no good for a doctor. Same stuff. So I'm usually pretty good with my hands and fixing stuff, and I would have taken this on, but yeah, I didn't have the right tools, and they even mentioned that they needed a camera to go down into one of the spark plug holes. So I didn't have that, and I would have had a hard time trying to get one of those plugs out, because the corrosion was, not corrosion, the buildup. The dirt buildup was so high up that it covered the hexagon part of the spark plug that your socket connects to, and it felt like it was spinning, they said. And he actually said he might have had to take the engine out. It's a spark plug change, man. Like, they shouldn't be this expensive, and they're not that hard to do. I just didn't have the tools to do it. Whatever. If any of you guys have had any issues with mechanics, what's your story? Do you think there's actually an honest mechanic out there? Or are they all out to, you know, get you to come back, like, you know, trip a wire here, loosen something here so that you drive down the road 100 miles and then it pops off and then you got to go back? And if I was a mechanic, I would be the most honest. I would probably lose all my business because I'd make sure cars were tip top before they left. And yeah, it was like this one chiropractor that I went to, actually not a chiropractor, an acupuncturist. I went to him and he said, 2 sessions with me and I will never see you again. I said, bullshit. First session, he did some cupping on me, and he did some weird, like, made me do some stretches. And then the second session I came in, he had me laid out and pins all in my back, and I was there for like 15 minutes, and he said, okay, once you're ready and you feel comfortable, get up, put your clothes on, and you can come out to the waiting room when you're ready. So I didn't understand what he meant by when I was ready, but when he left the room, I was laying face down and I couldn't stop laughing. It reminded me of like a bad acid trip that I had. I just couldn't stop laughing and smiling. I guess he triggered something with those needles, and yeah, I was in there for a good 10-15 minutes just smiling, and I finally got up and my back was good, and I walked out of there like nothing happened. There was a little soreness, but I got up walking. I basically almost crawled in there, and I got out walking, and I never had to see him again. Like, that's a referral that I'll give. He was correct. I never had the issue again. Pretty damn good. Yeah, that's 100 for me. If you can tell me you will not be back because I'm gonna fix your ass, that's a full send right there. I'll send everybody there who's got back issues. So yeah, I'm ranting. I'm just sitting out here waiting for the wife to come back with some groceries, and then I'm gonna go home and eat and take a nap because these sniffles are making me tired. I had a long couple of days driving to Huntington and back, so I'm a little fatigued and I need some rest because stress really bogs down my immunity. So I don't want to get another flu or get laid out on the couch. So I think I'm gonna take a nap right there until she gets back, and talk to you guys later.